Well, hello everyone, this is going to be a guide for how to make a modern bar in Fallout 76. This is a fun little design for any indoor bar, and is actually pretty easy to build and doesn't require any rare items, per se. Anyways, if you like this video and want to see more, feel free to check out my other content, and if you like what you see, you can subscribe for more future content. Anyways, let's get started. Alright, I'm going to be building my bar down here in my shelter. Let's start by going into the displays and grabbing a beer Stein display case. You can get these pretty much anywhere. I honestly don't know why you wouldn't have them, but there's that. So what you want to do is you want to try to line this up in the middle. Alright, once you have it lined up and flat, go ahead and move it outward. I recommend a little bit in front of this line, so about right here. So let's go ahead and do that. Make sure you try to keep it in the middle, and I personally think that is good. Next, you're going to need 4 more of these, and you're going to want to line them up perfectly with this, and try to make it as straight as possible. I went ahead and turned my flashlight on, or my Pip-Boy flashlight, and you want to try to merge these together. You can use the little squares right here as a kind of guideline, but you want to try to make them as flat as possible, and don't overthink it. If it's not like 100% flat and straight, that doesn't really matter. And now you want to do that with 3 more and make it 5 long. So I'm gonna go do that real quick and I'll be right back. And once that is done, it should look something like this. Now, this is designed for a 3x2 area, but if you are in a 2x2 area, then I recommend putting this up against the wall. And then you'll have a little bit of space on the side for whoever it is to come in. Next, let's start with behind the counter. I personally recommend just doing random stuff and see what works out. I'm going to be using this cooking stove. I'm going to be using, once the game loads, took about 10 seconds, but I'm also going to be using this version of the chemistry station, as well as a brewing station. Alright, so I'm just going to start with the brewing station first, and you just want to sort of line it up with this and make sure it's pretty straight. I got it straight on the first try. And then you're just going to move it towards the middle, and you're going to want to look up to find where that is. So it's this line right here, so I want to move it over here. Then I'm going to play with this a little bit and make sure it's straight. It looks a little bit crooked, so I'm going to correct it a little bit. But you want to try to get it lined up straight right here. And I think that's good enough. Leave a little bit of room for other stuff. But one thing I should note, if you plan on putting an ally back here, move this up a little bit. Move it this way, because you will need room for your ally to come through here. And they require a lot more room than necessary. So if that happens, just scoot it up to this line. But since I'm not doing that, I'm just going to leave it where it is. Now I'm going to grab this chemistry station, and I'm going to turn it this way so that the pipes are facing inward, because I think this is actually the correct way that it's supposed to go. And what I really like about this chemistry station is that it actually, if I can get it right, it can merge into this brewing station. Like that. There we go. And so far, I think that looks splendid. Now I'm going to grab this cooking station, or this cooking stove, my mistake. And you're going to want to try to line it up as easy as possible and pull it out a bit until you can place it. There we go. And then we're just going to scoot it over here as far as we can go. There we go. So they all kind of seem connected. Now there's going to be a little space right here. If you want to put a fermenting station or just anything like that right here, feel free and go ahead. Alright, next we're going to go ahead and pick our chairs. I recommend just using the top one and using these stools. They're pretty common, but they look really good nonetheless. And you want to put them on this line right here. Personally, I recommend not copy and pasting them. Mix them up a little bit so it looks more natural. There we go. And just keep doing that. Doesn't need to be perfect, doesn't need to be sloppy, just do whatever feels right. And if it's too close, move them back a little bit, but I think that's perfect right there. And you can see they're not in a straight line, so it looks like people actually have been here. And they aren't facing straight forward, so it looks like people have been here. Alright, next we are going to do some wall decorations. This is so the back wall doesn't look so bland. First, I'm going to go ahead and place this little Pie House Party Rules over here on the left. This is something I got free in the Atom Shop a long time ago. Not really sure how to get it nowadays, but... And I'm going to put this one which was part of that one over there. And I'm going to put it, let's say, right here. Just some cool little posters, and feel free to place whatever you want, but this is just what I personally think looks cool. And if you want, you can probably put this down here, if you really want to. Next, I'm going to grab these burrow signs. I'm only going to grab 2 of them. I'm going to grab Mess Hall and put it right here, in the middle at the top. And then down here, below that, I'm probably going to put Market. But I'm not going to put it in a straight line because it looks kind of unnatural that way. So I'm just going to, let's say, like that. There we go. Now if you want, you can put a table right here and maybe put a Nuka-Cola display case here. Or if you want, you can shift all of these, because I know this one's sticking out a little bit. Or if you want to put anything you want here, you can put anything you want there too. Next, you can put any kind of decoration here you want to, if you want. I think I'm going to put this here. Maybe, if I can get it to fit. There we go. I think that looks pretty cool. Like a little statue. It kind of fits the little vibe of the bar. So I want to put that there. And finally, if you have purchased the mannequins, you can place one in here and give it an outfit of your choosing. That's what I'm going to do, because I don't want to put an ally down here. And the reason why I chose a beer stein display case is because you can actually display beer steins here, which are things you drink out of. So I'm going to go ahead and display a bunch of them right here. And now you have one that's right there on top. So I want to go through here and unassign some of these. Not that one, because that one is... But I want to unassign all the others. So now it's just that one. And if you look carefully, down here it looks like a little place for the bartender to put their stuff, and then up here is where you put your stuff. Or the customer's stuff. And I have an alien beer sign. I want to sign it right here, and just have that right there. And the more you have, the more you can customize this. I only have those 2, because I don't play this game that much, at least not until recently. But the more you have, the better it looks. And this is what the bar looks like when it's finished. I think it looks really cool. So this is what the bar looks like when it's finished. I think it looks really cool, and it can lighten up pretty much any place inside any house. Or if you're trying to make a restaurant, this bar can look fantastic. Anyways, let me know if you like this design, and let me know if you use it. And if there's any things in this game that you want me to build, feel free to let me know, and I can see if I can make it for you. Anyways, I guess I'll see you guys later. Goodbye!